Hey there everyone, time for another iPod app review, and like I said, tragic irony struck me and I got sick last week, so just as I said I wasn't going to slack off, irony took over. But just to be a bit sarcastic, and this is a useful app anyway, I'm going to be covering the WebMD app. Everyone knows WebMD, you use it on the computer all the time, but now they've got an app. So that's what I'm covering this week on iPod app reviews. Okay, now this is one of the apps for the iPod Touch that you will need your Wi-Fi open for it to get all the data. A lot of these apps require on you using the internet itself to get the data, and it's sort of like a framework. So, let's open up the WebMD app. And it takes a little bit to... Okay, we've got a nice little list of things here with the WebMD app. And when you first open up the app, it will give you a little tour to show you all the things, but I'll give you my own little tour here. So we have a symptom checker. Like I said, last week I was very sick, so I should have got this app and got my symptoms checked. Okay, so I had a cough. So this diagram, which it'll ask you if you're male or female the first time you start the app and everything, so it's got all my information already. So it's got a diagram of a guy here, obviously. So you can either go by list of symptoms, which has this, but I like the diagram. So I had a cough yesterday, so that's counted as a chest symptom. So cough. And then it asks you some questions about your actual cough that you have. In other words, it doesn't just say, oh, you were coughing. It asks what it was. So mine was yellow or green septum. Sorry about that, it was a bit disgusting, I know. None of the above. Suppleness. Cough associated with none of the above. So now I've got that symptom in. And then along with that, I was having a headache, so I'll pick my head. And headache. Okay. None of the above. Throbbing. How severe is your headache? Mild. Front of the head. Made worse by coughing or sneezing. And better with rest. Associated with not a recent injury or trauma, and it's sudden. How long does your headache last? Less than an hour. And now I've got that. Now after you put all of your symptoms that you've had into it, then you click this button, View Possible Conditions. Like I said, it takes it a bit to load up because it is using the internet after all. Okay, now I suspect that I had the common cold, so I tap that. And just like WebMD itself, it gives you an overview, like what it is, what the common cold actually is, what causes it, how it starts, symptoms, information about kids, if it's a kid you're dealing with, and in this case it's even got preparing for the cold season and when to call the doctor about a cold. Because this doesn't claim to replace a doctor, it's just the thing that helps you out to figure out things on your own that aren't that extreme. Or to figure out when you really do need to call your doctor because something extreme really is going on. It's got a list of symptoms and even some articles from the website itself about the common cold. Okay, now, besides just the symptom checker, it's also got the normal conditions, so you can find out about anything you know, from asthma from a kid, and it gives you the same type of topic overview or things of that nature. You can look up your drugs and treatments too, like, let's see here, let's pick a random thing here. Crestor, here we are, there's something I've heard of. I don't take it, but I've heard about it at least. So you click that and wait for it to load up the information. Okay, and it will give you a whole layout, including even the fancy name that isn't marketed to us. And the brand name, which is Crestor. It's got a tab for uses, side effects, little precautions you ought to take, interactions, and even overdose things, and some images. So it gives you pretty much a pill book, if you've ever seen one of those things, of everything to do with this, like the list of side effects. It always gives the thing at the top, I've noticed. Remember that your doctor has prescribed this medication because he or she has judged that the benefit is greater than the risk. Like with this one, it's muscle problems, muscle weakness, pain, tenderness, weakness, especially with fever on knees. But you know the long list that they always give you in those commercials? That's what's here. Including when you need to tell your doctor, hey, this is screwing me up. So let's see if there's anything else. There's first aid information, so if you have to deal with a burn, for instance, which of course it gives you the call 911 immediately, because that's fairly obvious if it's having certain problems. And then it gives you a layout of how you can take care of this, and even when to seek medical care whenever it's that bad. And then of course it's local health listings, although I haven't been able to make it work for me exactly. I'll still show it to you. You can put your physician, your pharmacy, and your hospital in, and it will give you these things. I think it's mainly for the iPhone users, though, that it works. Although with me being in a tiny town like I am, it didn't have my pharmacy or my physician in its database. So it could just be where I'm in a small town, but usage will vary depending on where you are, probably. And that, in a nutshell, is the WebMD app. I think it's pretty useful for just checking on things and knowing when you definitely need to go to the doctor. Hope you guys liked the review. As always, if you want to follow all my feeds, you can find them at friendfeed.com/labtech7. And if you want the app, you'll find a link to it right below this video at the post at samuellewis.blogspot.com. And until next week, because I won't be sick that week, because I got this, see you next time.